Welcome you all again for the thermodynamic lecture series. So in this today's lecture we are going to solve a few more problems on throttling process. So in this lecture we are going to solve by using both steam as well as a Mollier chart method for a throttling process. So before getting into the problem, so we need to know what is the state of the steam. Okay, so there is the condition of the steam or the quality of the steam we need to identify. So for that, we all know that they are having three different conditions or quality of the steam is available. The first one is wet steam, and second one is dry steam, and third one is your superheated steam. Okay, so how these qualities are classified? Okay, so these classification, how these qualities are classified is detailedly explained in the previous lectures. If you have any doubt, you can go through the previous lecture. Okay, so just I am recalling that. So if we say the given specific enthalpy is lesser than the specific enthalpy of saturated vapor, then it is called as a wet steam. Okay, when a given specific enthalpy which is equal to saturated specific enthalpy of vapor, then they are called as dry steam. Okay, so here x value which is equal to 1 here. Okay, then if we say it is a superheated steam, then the specific enthalpy of the saturated vapor is lesser than your given enthalpy. Okay, so this will be applicable for your specific volume also. Okay, for instance, so the given specific volume is lesser than the saturated specific volume of the vapor, then it is called as a wet steam. When the given specific volume and the saturated specific volume of the gas which is equal, they are called as dry steam. When the saturated specific volume of the vapor which is lesser than your given specific volume, then it is called as your superheated steam. Okay, since the same condition will be applied for your specific entropy also. When coming on your temperature, we should say it is a saturation temperature. Okay, so we all know what is saturation temperature. So at this point the phase changes will occur. So in this saturation point, the given temperature is lesser than your saturation point, the steam will be of a wet steam. Then your given temperature which is equal to the saturation temperature, then it is a dry steam. Then the saturation temperature is lesser than your given temperature, then it is known as the state of the steam is your superheated steam. Then, so based on the qualities wet steam, dry steam and superheated steam, we should know some of the basic properties and how to use the formulas for your basic properties. Okay, so first one is your specific enthalpy, the unit is kilojoule per kilogram. If we say the steam is wet, the condition is the given specific enthalpy is lesser than that of your saturated specific enthalpy, then H is equal to HF plus X into HFG. Okay, where H is your specific enthalpy at liquid stage. Okay, so this is your combination of both, so liquid and gaseous vapor. Okay, so X is nothing but your dryness fraction. Okay, what is meant by dryness fraction? That is the amount of, that is the mass of vapor present in the total amount of the steam. Okay, so that is mg by mf plus mg. Okay, it's equal to mg by mf plus mg. Then if we say dry steam, I already told that x equal to 1. You substitute your x equal to 1, then it becomes hfg. Okay, so hfg can be written as hg minus hf. So plus hf and minus hf will get cancelled. Again the term will be h is equal to hg here. For superheated, so h is equal to hg plus cp, that is the constant pressure of the superheated temperature values. Then your T superheated minus your T saturation temperature, the difference between your superheated and saturation temperature. For specific volume, again for a wet condition, V is equal to Vf plus X into Vfg, and for dry steam it is V is equal to Vg, and for superheated steam V is equal to Vg into T sup by T saturation. And also for your specific entropy, S is equal to Sf plus X into Sfg, where S equal to Sg. Here for superheated, S is equal to Sg plus Cps of log into the ratio of T sup by superheated temperature divided by your saturation temperature. And also work done. So we also know that the flow work is equal to P into V. So that is work done is equal to P into V for all the three cases. But this volume, the specific volume will be varied according to these three different conditions. And also know the specific volume is instead of the reciprocal of your density, or otherwise density can be written as 1 by your specific volume in all the three cases of your quality of the steam. Then the specific internal can be determined by H is equal to U plus PV relation. So with this we can write U, specific internal energy U is equal to H minus PV. So this H, the specific enthalpy and the specific volume will be depend on these formulas. What are all the state of the conditions? So corresponding state of the conditions, the signal energy will vary, but the formula for the internal energy for all the three cases are same. Okay. Problem number 18. Steam at 1 megapascal and 0.9 dry is throttled to a pressure of 200 kilopascal. So initially the steam at pressure P1 is equal to 1 megapascal, which is equal to 10 bar, and it is dry. Okay, so the dryness fraction is given, that is x1 is equal to 0.9. So the initial condition, the steam is wet in this case, and it is throttled. So the throttled condition is nothing but if it is say it is throttling, so enthalpies are equal, so that is H1 is equal to H2 in this case. Okay, so if it is a throttling process, the specific enthalpy is equal, so we can say H1 is equal to H2 to a pressure of 200 kilopascal. So P2 is equal to 200 kilopascal, that is equal to 2 bar, using steam table. Okay, so they asked to find out using steam table, find the quality of the steam and change in entropy. So we need to find the quality of the steam at the second stage. Initial stage it is given as it is wet, but in the second stage we need to find out the quality of the steam and also change in entropy. Check your answers using your Mollier chart. Okay, so in this problem they asked to find the value by using steam table and also by using the Mollier chart. Check it out by using your Mollier chart. State whether this process reversible or irreversible, that we have to say by using your change in entropy value. So for that, by first one we have to solve by using your steam table method. For that, the given pressure P1 is equal to 10 bar, and as we all know it is a wet condition, x1 equal to 0.9, so we can directly take it out from your saturated water and the steam pressure table. At pressure P1 is equal to 10 bar, you take all the HF, HFG value, SF and SFG value. Okay, so HF1, HFG1, SF1 and SFG1. With this you can find, since it is in wet condition, so the formula for the specific enthalpy is H1 is equal to HF1 plus X1 into HFG1. So substitute all those entities in this relation to get H1 is equal to 2504.84 kilojoule per kilogram. And as I already said, since it is a throttling process, so H1 is equal to H2. So we can say H2 as 2574.84 kilojoule per kilogram. And to find out the specific entropy, so specific entropy at wet condition formula will be S1 is equal to SF1 plus X1 into SFG1. So you substitute all the entities parameters what we have find out in the previous steam table. So that values we can get the specific entropy as S1 is equal to 6.14 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Okay, so we need to find the second state condition. So for that I can again go for the pressure table, because the given pressure is 2 bar. What we have to check it out here? Here we have to check the enthalpy, specific enthalpy, because the specific enthalpy is equal in this case. Okay, so at 2 bar pressure you take Hg value, that is 2706.3 kilojoule per kilogram. You compare this H2 value, that is 2574.84 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. So H2 is lesser than Hg2. So the condition of the steam at the second state is wet. So if it is wet, you have to take all the properties as it is from your steam table. Okay, then you find X2. If it is wet, we need to find out the dryness fraction X2. So H2 is equal to HF2 plus X2 into HFG2. So we know H1 is equal to H2. Substitute those values, and HF2, HFG2 values are taken from the steam table. So you substitute to get X2 as 0.94. So with this, you can find S2 is equal to SF2 plus X2 into SFG2. So substitute all those entities. SF2 as 1.530 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin and SFG2 as 5.597 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Okay. So solving the simple relation, you will get S2 is equal to 6.79 kilojoule per kilogram. So in this problem, they asked to find change in entropy. That is, here the mass is not given, so the change in entropy is considered as change in specific entropy, right? That is per kilogram we have taken it out. So delta S is equal to S2 minus S1. So S2 is 6.79 and S1 is 6.14. So delta S is 0.65 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. So which is greater than 0. So it is an irreversible process. So as we have completed a steam table method, then we can move for a Mollier chart method. Okay. So by the Mollier chart method, these are all the conditions. These are all the given data I have written. That is P1 is equal to 10 bar and X1 equal to 0.9 and P2 is equal to 2 bar. So in this Mollier chart, this is your Mollier chart. So in the X-axis we are having your entropy values in terms of specific entropy as kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin, and in y-axis you are having the specific enthalpy value, that is kilojoule per kilogram, right? And this point is your critical point, and this is your saturated line. Okay, so this line is your saturated line. So at this saturated line, the dryness fraction X equal to 1 here. Okay, so below this saturation curve, the condition of the steam is wet, and above this saturation curve, the condition of the steam is superheated. Here we are having many intersecting lines. You see one by one line. Okay, so this parabolic line will be our constant dryness fraction line. The constant dryness fraction line is mentioned here, x equal to 0.9 and x equal to 0.95, and here it is x equal to 1. Okay, in addition to that, you follow these lines. So these lines are your not dotted lines, solid lines. These solid lines are your constant pressure lines, as we have discussed in the HS diagram in your previous lectures. So if you have any doubt in the Muller chart diagram lines, you can go through the previous lectures. You will get some idea about this Muller chart. Okay, so this is your constant pressure lines, and this dotted lines, you follow this dotted line. So these dotted lines are your constant volume lines. Okay, so these dotted lines are the constant volume lines. That values are also written here. And these lines are called as constant temperature lines. So these lines are called as constant temperature lines. So first one, we need to fix a point. So if you need to know a state of a system, we need two entities, right? So we need two entities that we have discussed in your phase rule, right? So here we are having two entities, that is pressure is equal to 10 bar and the dryness fraction x1 equal to 0.9. Okay, so mark that point. So this is your 10 bar pressure line. Okay, so I have highlighted. So this is your 10 bar pressure line, and also the x1 is equal to 0.9. Okay, so this is your dryness fraction line, x1 equal to 0.9. So this is your 0.1. Okay, so this is your 0.1. So at this 0.1, so we can take the horizontal line as enthalpy and your vertical line as entropy. Okay, so in this point, the horizontal line from the graph is h1 is equal to more or less equal to 2574.84 kilojoule per kilogram, and entropy here in x-axis it is S1 is equal to 6.1385 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin here. Okay, so in this diagram I have not shown because since this diagram is very larger, so I am not able to put the x-axis. If you check with this Muller chart, this value will be S1 is equal to more or less nearly equal to 61.1385 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin, right? Then we need to plot the second point, right? So if you need to plot the second point, that is H1 is equal to H2. Okay, so as we all know that H1 is equal to H2 in this case, because since it is a throttling process, so we have to draw straight lines. So this is your specific enthalpy line. You have to draw the line from 1, and we didn't know how much this line will be lengthened. Okay, so that they said that pressure is equal to 2 bar. So you draw this line up to the 2 bar pressure line. So this is your 2 bar pressure line. So up to this 2 bar pressure line, you draw a horizontal line and mark one point, and this point will be your second point. Okay, so at that point you take the entropy as S2 is equal to 6.79 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin, and where you have to take the dryness fraction. So this is equal to x2 is equal to 9.4. It is between 0.9 and 0.95. So it will be approximately or equal to x2 is equal to 0.94. Okay, so it is very easy. So with this, I can observe the values from the Muller chart and I can write. So we need to find out the condition of the steam in this case. So condition of the steam is wet because it is below the saturated line, and also entropy values we have taken from the Muller chart. So substitute those values to get delta S is equal to 0.65 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. So in this case also delta S is greater than 0, so it is an irreversible process here. So with this I can write a result for both the cases. It is both the cases it is same. So x2 is equal to 0.94 and delta S is equal to 0.65 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Problem number 19. A sample of the steam from the boiler drum at 1.5 megapascal. Okay, so the initial pressure P1 is 15 bar is put through a throttling calorimeter. Okay, in which the pressure and the temperature is found to be 100 kilopascal and the temperature T2 is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. Here, in a boiler drum, okay, the sample of the steam from the boiler drum is taken. Okay, so that is from the boiler the steam is taken at a initial pressure of 15 bar, and it is given to the throttling calorimeter, where that pressure will be, expansion may be happened or process in our calorimeter will take it out. Okay, so where if we say it is throttling, then the condition will be H1 is equal to H2. At the second condition, the pressure P2 is equal to 1 bar and T2 is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. We need to find out the quality of the sample taken from the boiler. That is, we need to find out the initial condition of the steam. Okay, so the initial condition of the steam, we need to find it out, right? So for that, from the steam table at saturated pressure table, okay, so saturated pressure table, because so in the previous problem and cases and all, we have the initial condition and we need to find out the final condition of the steam. So this problem is somewhat different. That is, they have given the final condition of the steam, we need to find out the initial conditions. Okay, so for that I am writing the second state. So P2 is equal to 1 bar. So at 1 bar pressure, the saturation temperature is 99.63 degrees Celsius. Okay, then your given temperature is 100 degrees Celsius, which is 99.63 is less than 100 degree. So T saturation is less than T2. The condition of the state 2 is superheated. Okay, so if the state 2 is superheated condition, then you can go for the superheated table to take out the entities of specific enthalpy. So specific enthalpy superheated table at pressure P2 is equal to 1 bar and T2 is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. You can take H2 is equal to 2676.2 kilojoule per kilogram. And so we know that since it is a throttling process, so we know that H1 is equal to H2, and also you have to take H value from your table, right? So again, at pressure P1 is equal to 15 bar, right? At pressure P1 is equal to 15 bar, HF value, HFG value, HG1 value, we have to take it out, because before you take all these values, you have to check the condition, right? So P1 is equal to 15 bar, so at 2789.9 is your Hg value. So compare this with your H1 value, then H1 is equal to H2 value, then it will becomes lesser. Okay, so that is 2676.2, which is lesser than 2789.9, that is H1 is lesser than H1. So the condition of the state is bit here. Okay, then you have to take it out all the properties, HF and HFG, all the values you take out. So the condition of the steam is state 1 is wet here, so H1 is equal to HF1 plus X1 into HFG1. So with these values we can find the quality of the steam from the boiler. That is, at the initial condition X1 is equal to 0.941. The initial condition of the boiler is wet in this case. Thank you.